Dear prospective Semmelweis citizens, dear parents, welcome to Semmelweis University's International Online Open Days. With today's event, we wish to spark your interest in both our university and Hungary, including our wonderful capital, Budapest, one of the most beautiful and safest cities in the world. Our university is committed to not only training the next generation of doctors, health and rehabilitation professionals, but also nurturing diligent, dedicated, and conscientious young individuals who can succeed anywhere. Our courses are accredited, so our graduates will be welcomed with open arms all over the world. With a tradition going back 255 years, Semmelweis University is a historic trademark and brand that commits everyone working or studying here to the highest standards of education, scientific excellence, and healthcare service. As rector, it makes me glad and proud to see more and more students joining us year after year. A third of our almost 16,000 students come from 129 countries, making Semmelweis one of the most international universities in the world. We are the leading higher education institution in Central and Eastern Europe and the top performer in international rankings in the region. We continue to be listed among the world's best 300 in Times Higher Education's World University Rankings, which is the top 1%. In Shanghai ranking, we are now among the top 100 in pharmaceutical sciences, in the top 200 in clinical medicine, and the top 300 in dentistry and medical technology. According to US News, we are the 31st in the world in cardiovascular medicine, but we aim even higher. And for this, we also need the dedication and enthusiasm and curiosity of those who will apply next semester. I am well aware that you are also curious about the everyday lives of students. I strongly believe that students' well-being, a diversity of programs, and continuous improvement of student spaces are essential for high-quality education. Semmelweis citizens enjoy a vibrant student life, regular and excellent community activities, sports, and cultural events. We have an extensive network of international contacts with partners that include some of the world's best higher education institutions, from Harvard University to the Karolinska Institute. I hope that many of you who have joined us today will choose one of our courses and become members of the Semmelweis community. I wish you a pleasant and fruitful day, and above all, good luck with the task and exams ahead of you.
Hi, my name is Moein.
Hey, I'm Kate.
I'm 26 and I'm originally from Iran.
And I'm coming from the US. When I was 6, I had the dream of becoming a doctor and a rock star.
Wait, you too?
Haha. Now I can say I fulfilled one of those dreams.
Yeah, that's the reason we are here. We're students of Semmelweis University. So, we've all heard about that child that always wanted to be a doctor. Yeah, that's me. I could say that in spite of endless hours of anatomy studies, my motivation never fluctuated. But my caffeine levels did. Sometimes it's just so hard to focus.
Don't worry, we got your back here. I could list endless reasons why I love to study here, but the main one is that you can make new friends from all over the world, and these connections last a lifetime. The uni offers you stunning opportunities, such as learning in small groups but achieving great successes, professional support and PhD studies, and a diploma recognized all over the world.
Exactly. I love the fact that you learn here by doing. We can work with actual patients, the tools and devices are very up to date, even if the university is more than 250 years old. It's so motivating to know that we can affect the next generation.
I really like the vibe here. So many inspiring places, and everything is so close together. You can easily go from your classes to the clinics, because basically everything is in one block.
The next stop is Semmelweis Klinikák.
Don't forget the city. We fell in love with its beauty instantly. The historic architecture is unlike any other city. Well, obviously, you have to learn a few words in order to survive.
Hey, do you know what's the hardest word to say in Hungarian? It's gyökszertár. Can you say it? Gyökszertár.
Yeah, it sounds hard. Do you know what popcorn is in Hungarian?
What is it?
Patogatott kukorica. Can you say that one?
Budapest is so vibrant. It's full of famous thermal spas, ruined bars, rooftop bars, all within an arm's reach.
Plus, Hungarian food is amazing. You have to try gulyásleves, portobágyi húsos palacsinta, töltött káposzta,
Leche, madártej, and palinka, of course. Cheers to you for choosing well. Welcome, and thank you for being here. In this discussion, we will uncover what sets Semmelweis University's general medicine program apart. Let's begin. My name is Moeinzadeh. I'm a medical student here at Semmelweis University and the president of ISSA, the International Semmelweis Students Association. I will be your moderator today. With me, we have the Dean of the Faculty of Medicine, Professor Miklós Kellermayer, who will give you a behind-the-scenes look at one of the most prestigious medical schools in Europe. We also have Kata Erdei, a fellow fifth-year medical student who will take you on a journey through what it's like to be a student here. And last but not least, we have Dr. Mateu Vicenç, an esteemed international alumnus who graduated from our university in 2019 and is currently a resident doctor at the Department of Pediatric of Semmelweis University, and who will give you a glimpse into the life after graduation. Let me highlight that you can always reach out to us with your questions, inquiries, etc. through the university's website, email, and socials. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the discussion as we explore what makes Semmelweis University's general medicine program one of the most sought-after programs in Europe. Let's begin. Professor Kellermayer, can you please briefly introduce Semmelweis University's international medical education? What are the main characteristics of the general medicine program?
Okay, so the general medical training program at Semmelweis University is more than 250 years old in general, but its international program is already 40 years old. We are celebrating its 40th anniversary of this year. The structure of the medical program has been renewed just a few years ago, about 3 or 4 years ago, as part of the reform of our medical curriculum. Now, just briefly, the structure is composed of basically 4 important, what we call modules. The first module is what we call the basic, or you might call it theoretical module, even though it's not only theory, but we do a lot of practice as well. This runs for 2 years, 2 years of the overall 6 years training program. The second structural element is the preclinical module, which runs for 1 year. And its purpose is to basically deliver the student from the theoretical or basic module into the clinical setting. The third structural element is what we call the clinical module, where the students actually encounter bedside training as part of the main disciplines of medicine. And finally, The whole 6-year program ends with a practicing year. It's what we call the internship year, and that's actually a stepping stone into the residency training program.
That's great. Thank you very much for your answer. Pretty comprehensive. Now, allow me to ask an opinion of the student here. We have with us Kata. You are a fellow 5th-year medical student.
Yes.
So why did you choose to study at Semmelweis University, and did the training fulfill your expectations?
So I live in the US, and I always had a dream of studying in Europe. I really wanted to study outside of my home country because I think an international program is the best experience to meet other people from different cultures and get to know a different culture and study in a place that maybe sets me out of my comfort zone. And I think I made the perfect choice. Since I'm in my 5th year now, I'm getting close to the end, and I think I've had an amazing experience thus far, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
Oh, that's wonderful. It's very heartwarming to hear that. Well, allow me to ask our alumnus present here, Dr. Vicenç, can you reflect on your time and why you chose Semmelweis University when you started?
Well, when looking for where to study medicine, I had always the chance to study back home, but even some friends of family who are doctors recommended, oh, you should check what about abroad in foreign country. And I didn't really know too much about Hungary or Budapest. I couldn't even locate it in the map. But I think during the years of practicing and studying, I never regret. I could have gone back on the 2nd or 3rd year, and I asked really my parents to please let me finish the studies here. So I really don't regret this choice.
Oh, that's wonderful to hear, especially coming from alumnus who's graduated and is working currently. So that's great. Now, Professor Kellermayer, it's mentioned multiple times, also in the video that we watched, that Semmelweis University's general medicine program has a specific focus on practice-oriented teaching. Now, what kind of clinical experience can students expect to receive in their time in the program, and how early on can students start working with patients?
Indeed, as part of this curriculum reform, we introduced a more practice-oriented training. While practices are also important components of the basic module and preclinical modules as well, the clinical setting type of training is of utmost importance, as you highlighted. The medical students at Semmelweis University can meet students at the bedside as early as in the 3rd year, which is the preclinical training year. Yeah. In that year, they get exposed to the very fundamentals of how to approach the patient, the basic skills of what we call the physical examination, how to begin communicating with the patient. But thereafter, during the 4th and 5th years, they get a very thematic focused training at the bedside. They will learn the tricks of the trade of how to specifically address the patient as part of the particular discipline, like internal medicine or surgery, orthopedics, traumatology, and so forth. And that stays with them throughout their entire rest of the training. It's important to know that we introduced what we call the small block training, and that means that these blocks are teaching blocks, and the student stays with a single discipline for a number of weeks. The number of weeks actually depends on the size or the magnitude, the weight of the particular subject. Like internal medicine is a strong subject that runs for about 5 weeks. Smaller subjects run for a couple of weeks only. And during a single block, the student stays there from the morning until the afternoon at the same clinic, which means that they will have a chance to monitor the same patient from his or her entry into the clinic and to the remission, to the diagnostic decisions, therapeutic decisions, and so forth. Furthermore, during this time, the medical student is shadowing a tutor. So he or she stays with a single instructor to get first-hand information.
Well, thank you very much, Professor Kellermayer. And as I've said in the introduction, I'm not just your moderator. I'm actually a medical student here currently. And I have first-hand experience of the SED block system. And I have to say, it was so exciting to come up to the clinic and wear that white coat, the stethoscope, go see the patients together with the teacher, get a description of the case that the patient was experiencing, and sort of try to be a part of helping heal the patients at the clinics. It just felt very, very rewarding to me. And I'm still experiencing it at different blocks. Again, provides different themes, different sort of pathologies that we can work with. But I really look forward to every block, honestly. Now, Kata, you are a sort of a student here as well. Sort of, yes. Also a student here, I should have said. What is your most memorable experience related to patient care, if you could share with us?
Yeah, so I have an experience from when I was doing one of my summer practices in the US. I was examining a pediatric patient, a little girl, and at the end of the examination, when I was finished, her mother told me how she's so amazed that there are women who are thriving in medicine, and she's so happy that her daughter can grow up and experience people healing her who are of the same gender as her and see that we're also doing well. So it was really heartwarming, and it made me feel like I made the right choice in going into medicine.
Oh, that's just wonderful to hear. I'm glad to hear that. Another important aspect, besides the practice-oriented nature of our education here at Semmelweis University, is the ample opportunities provided to students to do research. And I would like to address that a little bit with an opening question, rather. What opportunities, Professor Kellermayer, are available for medical students to get involved into research? And how does the university facilitate such opportunities?
First of all, it's important to underline and underscore the fact that Semmelweis University is a research-oriented university itself. Our theme and our overarching logic in organizing our teaching and healing profession revolves around three words: healing, teaching, and research. And the three are inseparable from each other. So we like to encourage this connectivity even for the students already. We have a very strong program, what we call an undergraduate research program, in which students can get involved in and join actual research groups, existing research groups, already in after the second semester of their training. What does it mean? It means that we have a list of research topics available, and based on that, or based on some personal experience, like an affection towards a good teacher, good instructor, they get motivation and they seek out a particular topic and a particular research group. And they can join and they get introduced into the actual daily problems of how to execute a research, asking good questions, research questions, approach a particular research problem, how to work in the laboratory, how to prepare buffers, how to pipette, how to look into the microscope, how to dissect, and research animals, small animals, as part of the research question, how to analyze data, and how eventually to put together a presentation, or even start writing a paper, a scientific paper, or how to put together a research poster. As part of this program, we actually have an annual student research conference. And biannually, the best researchers or best presenters of the research get a chance to attend the national student research conference, and they get prizes based on their qualifications. So it's a truly unique program, and the nationwide organization of the student research is rather unique for Hungary. It has been very well organized as part of a strong system, and we have an organized office running at Semmelweis University who manages and administers the students who actually get involved in this research program. It's also important to know that the students who actually participate in research, they get credits points for that. And if they participate in the conference, they get extra credit points for that. And if they win their section, they even get further credit points as well.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you. No, it's a great opportunity, and I would like to further support that statement that I made by asking Dr. Vicenç a question. You're a resident doctor.
Yes.
And a PhD student at Semmelweis University. Apparently, you still think that research is important for medical doctors, even after graduation. Why?
Yes, it's just about the up-to-date concept. I can tell you something. Every morning we meet at the conference room, all the doctors, and we talk what happened the last 24 hours during the night shifts and so. But every day there is one resident or one doctor who is presenting a paper which has been published on that month. So we keep always looking for new information, new researches, new results, and sometimes, or I can say, it's very useful for us who are teaching the students. We can gather so much information which is new or maybe not in the textbooks, which is very important as well. On the other hand, I mean, being a PhD student, it just shows me, or it just teaches me that what Dr. Kellermayer said, that the data analyzing, something that I did not consider that important back then, that you see a result, but you get the chance to understand what is the meaning of that number, what lays behind, what has been the process to get to that. So I think this is something that the university very early on enhances to the students.
Oh, thank you.
If I may add to this thought,
Please.
because this is a fundamental question. Yes. Why is research important in a medical school setting, and even beyond the basic training? So the triple mission of Semmelweis University is not just by chance. It's a very, very systematic thought. Why is that? So, meaning the combination of teaching, healing, and research. So first of all, if we want to provide the best treatment to the patient, we must provide the newest technology, newest knowledge, and which came out yesterday from research. And only those individuals or those instructors can teach their students to this, the newest knowledge, who are actually also involved in doing the research, who make the discoveries themselves. So this connectivity is of utmost importance in medicine in general and at Semmelweis in particular.
Thank you for that explanation.
If
yes,
I may add something, at the pediatrics clinics, we have some senior doctors which have been some years, or actually nowadays are working at the clinic and going abroad. Right. And they bring, for example, in surgery, surgical techniques, new methods, new drugs or therapies, which we can also teach to the students. So it's what I said, the up-to-date concept, it's a very important one, and it's directly connected to research, I think.
Absolutely, I agree. We always hear medical learning is a lifelong learning, medical education. So that sort of cements that statement, which is wonderful to hear. Now, as a student, I would like to ask Kata, are you involved in a research program at the moment?
I am, yes. So I also participate in TDK, which is what Professor Kellermayer was telling us about. And I think starting research from a student's perspective gives you such a great head start going into the medical field, because you, again, learn how to analyze data, you learn how to present data, and that's such an excellent skill, and it also enhances your communication very much. So I participate in clinical research in the pediatrics department, and it's a field that I'm interested in going into, and I really enjoy it, and I think I made a great choice in going into it. So I would recommend all students to sign up for research at any point in their medical studies in any field that they're interested in.
Right. As Professor Kellermayer stated, and I like to reiterate, students in Semmelweis University are allowed to take part in research from their second semester on, which is essentially almost immediately. And it's wonderful to gain this skill, because I can understand how it would be such a obscure field for anyone who is not familiar with, and it could be sort of a little bit scary if you want to pursue that later on in your career. So it's always good to get a head start from when you're doing your basic training in the university. So
just the final thought to this topic,
please.
which is apparently, as you can see, it's very important. So there are two reasons for which there's a personal importance in actually joining a research group and doing your own research. First of all, it gives you a self-esteem and courage, which is very important in during medical training, medical university. I'm sure you as a student or you as a resident would testify to this, that medical training, the examinations could be, the professors can be very hard on me, but if I can raise and if I can build up a strong self-esteem, that is enhanced very much by your own research. Why? Because your discovery is something that neither of your professors have. That's your own. Yes. So that's very important. The second thing is that it facilitates critical thinking. Critical thinking, so you will be critical of what you learn, what you are being told, but also critical of yourself. Yes. That's very important in general, in science, and also in medicine as well.
100%, I agree, and thank you for adding that to the discussion. Let us pivot slightly to student supports. I would like to ask you, Professor Kellermayer, how does the university support students, academically or otherwise? You can mention.
Yes, I'd like to mention a few things here. Okay, obviously, as I alluded to that a moment ago, that medical training or medical studies are, they can be strenuous, they can be hard, they're hard on you. You stay in the, in your class hours, run from 8 a.m. often to 8 p.m. sometimes, some days. And then you have to go back to a textbook and of course get prepared for your next test or next examination, which can be real tough. And you get to memorize or whatever, go through about 1,000 pages for an examination or so. So that takes a lot of energy and a lot of out of you and builds up a lot of stress, obviously. So it can be scary at times as well. So we must have a good system of providing some help to the students. Now, this is a program, this overarching and actually this additional program is something that's in the development which has been running for the past few years, started in the past few years. Obviously, as you may recall, historical accounts in the past, well, who cared about, the mental, what the students should study, they should study for the exam, and, it's ordered to study, Nowadays, it's different. We have lots of students with different kind of skills, learning skills and studying skills, so we must provide them and assist them. We are building a mentor-based program, and this mentor program is basically assistance by the upper year students to the starting students, okay, the freshmen. And a mentor receives a training by skillful instructors of our behavioral sciences department. It's fundamental psychological training in order to recognize the problems the student might be facing. A student under stress and inching, depression or of some sort, yes, that could be recognized by the student. And they can report and they can direct the student at need to the department of either psychiatry or, under certain circumstances, or to the department of behavioral sciences. So that's like a mentor-based program, which is building up rather strongly. Now, this is for the students in need. But of course, we need to treat the students who are in excess. What do I mean by students in excess? Who are super talented students. So the spectrum with the increasing number of students, the spectrum has been broadening. So we receive hugely talented students whom we want to invite into a talent support program. Yes. And this talent support program has been opened up to our international programs as well. What does it mean? This talent support program has been running for the past 12, 13, maybe 14 years. And this basically accommodates the best 1 or 2% student of the student body. This is also a mentor-based program, but this time the mentors are not students, but professors who provide, recommendations which assist decision-making. And these students go through an entrance examination, interview-based entrance examination, and they are truly the best of the best. It's not enough to demonstrate good studying, good results, good grades, but also additional skill, additional talent, good research experience, research results, and also additional talent like musical talent or artistic talent, whatever, language skills and so forth. So we have a rich, wealthy array of support programs for our students.
That's quite wonderful, and it's very important to imagine a student as a 3D being, so supporting all sides of things. As you mentioned, if there's an artistic side at the same time, we need to be able to support that. As all students at some point run into certain psychological issues, and we need to be able to support that, be it mild or be it strong. That just happens all over the world. So that's the fact, and we need to remain up to date in those support programs as well, as we are. I would like to ask Kata, did you make use of any of these student support services?
I think as a student, one of the best things that you can do is look to upper year students who have been through the same thing, because they know exactly what you're experiencing. And if you're having a hard time either academically or mentally, they know how you feel, so you can always ask any upper year students. And we have a student association, it's called ISSA, and you can always turn to ISSA either through social media, or any of the people who are in the group can guide you to somebody who can help you with your studies, finding notes, finding a textbook, knowing what to study, or just reaching out to someone and having somebody to talk to.
Thank you. And I concur exactly as a student, as I mentioned. I absolutely concur with what Kata said. And to add on top of that is I personally have used certain services of the University of regarding the Behavior Sciences Institute and counseling services that they offer. And I'm very, very happy with the professional support I received. And I am actually glad that they've expanded recently their professional support so that they can support students as early as possible and to the best of their abilities. So that's been a huge plus. And in addition, I can also say that students have as you mentioned previously, I think you alluded to this fact, students have a good relationship with the professors. So there are times that you may need certain assistance academically with a subject, with a topic, with a lecture. You can always reach out to your professor through their emails, always accessible, and find some time that suits you best, and you can ask for advice outside of the lecture hall or outside of their teaching hours. So that's always been an important aspect of it too. So students don't feel left alone. And as Kata said, we have representatives, ISSA, the International Semmelweis Student Association. We have representatives for every year, so they can reach out to them or their upper year students, which are a huge source of support. So that's wonderful. Okay, and now that we mentioned support, let's pivot slightly again to student life at Semmelweis and beyond. So Kata, could you tell us a little bit about extracurricular activities that could be available for students, and how do these opportunities contribute to the overall student experience?
Yeah, so the university has a wide range of clubs. So basically anything that you're interested in will have some sort of club or student group. So if you're interested in music or sports or theater, anything, you can find people in the university who enjoy the same thing. And that's a great way to make friends and also continue what you were doing before the university. And again, we have the student association both ISSA and HUC and DSVS, these are the International Hungarian and German Student Associations. We together have many events that occur throughout the year, either in terms of nightlife or in terms of like a day party. So this is a great opportunity to meet other students and get involved in the university outside of academics.
Thank you. And I'd like to ask, I mean, this question is addressed to both Dr. Vicenç and Kata, so please feel free to answer it. Do you enjoy living in Budapest, the capital of Hungary? And I apologize, Budapest, I should say. What do you do in your free time?
I have so many chances to get to enjoy the city. I mean,
residents don't have free time.
Yeah, do you have free time?
We do some. We do some. Weekends are shorter than for the rest of the people. But personally, every time I have a full weekend free for me, I get to get out of Budapest and I discover villages and places around Hungary. I like a lot. Okay, you can find them also in Budapest, but I love thermal baths. And I think I have been in so many out of Budapest. The bath culture is very strong in Hungary, and I really enjoy it.
Yeah, I agree. I've heard
Yes.
the bath culture is very strong in Hungary. What about you, Kata?
I love living here. I think Budapest is such a student city. There are so many universities outside of Semmelweis as well, so there are so many people around our age who are living here. So I think it's a great place to live when you're in your 20s. I think it's a beautiful city as well, so even if you just walk out your door, the architecture is gorgeous. Yeah, I mean, I can't say enough good things about it. I really do love to live here.
No, I agree with Kata. It's quite a student city as well. We have so many students, the parties and everything. It's quite interesting. It's a great way to let off some steam, medical school and everything. It's quite wonderful to be in an environment where that's allowed, you know,
and
or there are opportunities for it.
Yeah, and it's such a multicultural environment.
Yes.
So within the university as well, especially if you're studying in the English program, you are able to meet so many people from different countries. But even within Budapest, so many people are coming from outside of the country. So I think it's a great opportunity to get to know people of different cultures.
Yeah, could you actually speak a little bit more to that? Because Semmelweis University is one of the world's most international universities, and we have students coming from approximately 100 different countries to Semmelweis University. How do you feel studying in this environment? What do you feel like the advantages are?
I think it's such a gift to be able to study with people from so many different countries. It's an opportunity that I would have never had anywhere else. And I think meeting people from all over the world is a great way to kind of expand your knowledge base, learn about other people, learn about other cultures. And I think, especially from a clinical standpoint as well, it's going to make you such a great doctor, having met and spoken to so many people. I think it's fantastic.
I agree. I concur 100%. And I actually have a question for Professor Kellermayer. Does the university allow students to do rotations abroad? What opportunities does the university provide for students to gain international experience during their medical studies?
Yes, indeed, there's a wealth of opportunities. Okay. Particularly for international students, we have an array of teaching hospitals around the globe. And these hospitals must have gotten through accreditation, professional accreditation, which is managed partly by the university and partly by other medical training universities in Hungary, and monitored by the Hungarian Accreditation Committee. Now, these hospitals, teaching hospitals, are in the European Union, are typically university-associated teaching hospitals. They come naturally. Also in Northern America, like US and Canada, these university-affiliated teaching hospitals are also available. Okay, but in other countries like South Korea, Japan, and other countries, there's an array of accredited hospitals, and we have a currently and always a up-to-date list of these training hospitals that are available for our students to do summer rotations or practical rotations. But your question, of course, reaches out to broader type of opportunities as well. We have bilateral fellowship opportunities as well in the US or in Japan also, or in Germany. German universities, particularly Heidelberg University and Freiburg, they have very strong ties with, traditional strong ties with Semmelweis University, and we have long-term fellowships available for our students. That's, they can do research there, they can do clinical rotations, so the opportunities abound.
That's wonderful.
If I may add something to this. When I was at SITS here, two of my best friends at the university, they really knew that they want to go to Switzerland for the residency. And they had a very, very smooth and without any problem way to do more than one. They were spending so much time on the SITS year there in Switzerland in the hospital they would like to work or so, and they were gaining experience there also, and then they were coming to take the exams at Budapest. If a student, maybe it's from, let's say, Italy, and he maybe wants to go to France to become a resident, they have the chance in this means.
It seems like it's a huge benefit. It is, actually. That actually gives us a good segue into the next topic. We've mentioned all these wonderful things. Now, I would like to ask you, Professor Kellermayer, to briefly describe what makes a successful medical student and what characteristics and skills are inevitable.
Well, successful, you know, that's an interesting feature, characteristic. Now, I think a medical student who wants to attain success later on has to have a few important features. First of all, curiosity is very important, a never-ending curiosity, okay? And a certain level of criticism, and which is not only the ability of criticizing others, but also a self-criticism. Now, this is something that has to be learned and can be acquired throughout the studies. There has to be a skill for independent thinking. And the critical thinking, independent thinking are, of course, naturally related. It's kind of typical of the Semmelweis student that the fundamental knowledge, the basic medical knowledge is very strong. We put a lot of traditionally we have been putting a lot of emphasis on that. And that's a characteristic feature of any graduate who actually gets the medical diploma here at Semmelweis. What do I mean by that? We still have the combination, a very fruitful and very colorful combination of the classical type of medical training and together with the newest block-based medical training. And this classical training entails like autopsy, access to the cadaver, access to true hands-on experience, even from the first year of the medical training, which is kind of becoming rather rare around the globe. And finally, it's also important to have two more abilities. The ability to be like the stem cell, that is, to be able to differentiate after graduation, and also have a long and never-ending desire to learn more and more. It's an endless story. So this is what we call lifelong learning. So we must not forget this desire.
Thank you very much. That was a very great explanation. It's advice even for current students, such as me and Kata. Professor Kellermayer, many students might be interested to apply for Semmelweis University. Does the university offer for international students who would like to study here but have certain financial difficulties, any scholarship opportunities?
First of all, I must make something clear, which it doesn't mean that I want to discourage anyone from applying, but it's very important to set a few things apart. You know, university provides education. It's like the service provider. And there's the buyer, who is the student. So I think, you know, in our current age of economics, it's very important to set the stage for this kind of arrangement. And this is something that the university is not paying for the students to come here, but it's the student who's paying for getting access to the best education. But of course, we do realize that oftentimes students are in need, or become in a situation, or actually find themselves in a situation where they get stranded. Now, we have some opportunities to do that, and one of them is the so-called stipendium scholarship or fellowship, which is for foreign students, and the certain set of countries to whom it applies. There is also some part of this scholarship program which is available for Hungarians coming from abroad. That's also an important, it's a nationally government-supported program that makes available medical training for children of families who actually emigrated from Hungary. We have known that there have been some exoduses out of Hungary in the past few decades, so that's available for them.
That's wonderful. I'm very grateful that such opportunities exist. As you mentioned, there might be some financial hardship, and I'm very happy that the university understands and is able to help.
Maybe something that I should add. Of course, these were the scholarship, this well-structured overall scholarship. But I should mention that for those students who you go the extra mile, yes, and they are excelling in their studies, or they participate in ISSA, in which both of you are involved. For those students, we provide some discounts from the tuition fee, and that comes as a help as well. And maybe I should mention one last thing. We have another program besides, the student research program. We have the teaching assistance program as well. And teaching assistants get involved starting from their second school year. They can get involved and go, to the side of the teacher, assist the teacher and helping him or her out, managing students and so forth. And they do get some, not an extreme amount, but they do get some fellowship for that.
These are wonderful opportunities, especially the TA opportunity, the teacher assistant opportunity. Not only you will get certain financial compensation, but the most important point is that you actually get more experience teaching students, handling a classroom, which is invaluable in my opinion.
The Latin says, docendo distimus. You learn by teaching. So we provide that experience. We provide that experience for our students.
That is.
I can really actually enforce that, because I was doing my research as TDK student in biophysics and at the same time being a teaching assistant. And honestly, I just really learned biophysics when I started being teaching assistant, because then you revisit the topics and then you get to have a complete knowledge about what you are actually trying to tell the student.
That's absolutely wonderful. Yeah. I agree. And with teaching, you can learn a lot. It's actually beneficial for the teacher, I would say.
Yes,
yes.
Definitely.
Okay, so we discussed some aspect of the student lives. Now, allow me to pose this question to our panelists here. There is, of course, we all know a camaraderie between medical students in the Semmelweis, and when you go through an experience such as a medical school, it has an effect on you, and the fellows that follow you through that journey become quite close friends. So would you like to share some of your memorable experiences and sort of the friendships that you've made in this university? Kata, would you like to go first?
Yeah, I've met some of the best friends I've ever had and will ever have going through this university. And like you said, medical school is not easy. So having a group that you can depend on and lean on is so important. And especially this 6-year period, you really grow up and change and evolve as a person. And being able to do that together is really so rewarding. And going through so many milestones, like either failures or successes, is really incredible. And namely, I remember going through my white coat ceremony in my 4th year of medicine. It's such a great opportunity because all of your fellow students are there cheering for you, and it's such a happy day, and everyone's smiling, and you get to put on your white coat with your name on it, and it's just so exciting. And being able to experience that with people that I know will be in my life forever, no matter where we are in the world, is really incredible.
No, absolutely. I concur to that personally too. I've met some of my best friends in the school, and again, thinking back to sort of first year, second year when I made these friendships, and they've lasted for a while now. It seems like a long time ago. It seems like we've all went through a lot together, and it just brought us so much closer. And it's just a wonderful friendship. I don't think anything can quite replicate it. Dr. Vicenç, would you like to tell us about how the friendships have endured beyond the medical school?
Oh yeah, well, if you think about it, I'm the exception who stayed here, but from anyone who goes back home or somewhere else, you have at your disposal through social media, through contacts, telephone number, whatever, you have an international community of doctors. That is something, I mean, if you are just studying on your country of origin, okay, you have your fellow doctors, friends, but you have, you can, maybe you know someone from France, maybe you know someone from Switzerland, whatever, and you have those doctors at your help, for your help at your disposal anytime, because they are your friends as well. And that friendship, maybe you just talk because the topics of work, but endures, definitely does. And of course, you can go visit those countries and have free homing most of times. That is a very good thing too.
No, that's absolutely wonderful. Yeah. And I would like to ask Professor Kellermayer, how about you? What kind of friendships have endured since your time in medical school?
Oh, very memorable, very memorable. In fact, my best friend and companion I met in the freshman camp, the first day of the freshman camp, my wife, my future wife. Oh. That happened exactly 40 years ago. And we are still together.
That's incredible. That's incredible. That's just a testament to goes to show what medical school and the relationships you build here can go on to develop into. And again, I mean, to Dr. Vicenç's point, naturally, medical field is a very collaborative field, and international aspect of Semmelweis University provides the resources for you in the future to have colleagues and friends all over the world, which you can collaborate with, or you can just go visit and yes. have free homing.
Even in Japan.
Yes. So I think that's quite a wonderful thing. In closing, I would like to address a question to every single panel member here. So for Professor Kellermayer, as a professor, what is your most memorable personal experience of teaching international students?
Teaching international students, first of all, they are colorful. I mean, that's probably the first word, colorful. Second, they are forthcoming. And that's important. That's much more forthcoming than our Hungarian students. They are courageous to ask questions, which I actually invite all our students to ask questions. If you remember my lectures, I always ask questions from you guys. But I encourage all the students to ask questions. Unlike Hungarian students, who get excited and anxious, but international students are much more courageous and dare to ask questions.
I'm very happy to hear that. Now, Kata, could you briefly provide some advice for students who are considering to apply to Semmelweis University for medicine?
I think, first of all, your most important thing that you can do is study hard. And that's going to have to continue throughout your university years. But if you're taking your entrance exam, then study as hard as you can, be confident, and take that confidence with you throughout your studies. And if you get in, which I hope that you do, then take a break, take some time for yourself, and just relax before school starts, because it's going to be a bit difficult. So just take some time that you need before you start.
To add to that, and enjoy the city before school starts too.
Yes.
It's a wonderful new environment, definitely do. And Dr. Vicenç, so could you then give a glimpse to the students about what life looks like after graduating from Semmelweis University?
Yeah, okay, in my case that I decided to stay here because I enjoy so much Budapest that I couldn't have enough. I'm doing my residency program, and it's quite exciting to just be at the other side of the bridge, like now teaching, now taking care of patients, And Budapest is a city I can never get tired of. It's full of cultural opportunities, and it's so great to be here, at least for some more years, and whoever knows what will happen in the future. I never dare to say what are my plans for long term.
Thank you very much. That was very insightful. And of course, as Professor Kellermayer mentioned in the video as well, that the diploma that students receive from Semmelweis University is widely accepted and acknowledged in the international community. And I have many of my friends who are in upper years or who graduated from Semmelweis University actually end up moving out, perhaps going back to their home countries. There are others who, as your friends went to Switzerland or Sweden or I don't know, other countries around the world, which is wonderful. Now, thank you very much, Professor Kellermayer, for being here.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you very much, Kata.
Thank you for having
And
me.
Dr. Vicenç, thank you for being with us today.
It was great.
I'm sure it was very useful for our future students to get a general impression of the general medicine study program. The film about the Faculty of General Medicine and the recordings of the recent discussion can be found on our homepage as well. You can contact us later by admissions@semmelweis.hu or through our socials, through our websites, anywhere. We'll be more than happy to answer your inquiries and your questions. Dear participants, thank you for your attention. In the following live Q&A session, we're all here for you to answer your questions. Get ready to be part of the action. This will be your chance to ask our panelists anything you want to know.
Lively, elegant, historic, and modern. This is Budapest, a place that will make anyone smile. And the Faculty of Dentistry at the Semmelweis University guarantees this smile will be radiant and healthy. We've been training the elite of dentistry in our institutions for 150 years, and we are ranked highly in the global university ranking system. The Faculty of Dentistry is really popular among students. Here, approximately 1,000 students learn the secrets of healing to become successful and well-respected dentists.
Semmelweis University is a very old and well-known university in Europe with a certificate that is accepted in the whole Europe.
There was a couple dentists that I knew back in Canada who actually graduated from Semmelweis. They were able to come back to Canada and work in the profession. That's kind of what led me to come to Semmelweis and study here.
The dentist is an artist because you have to build, you have to make, people's teeth look aesthetic as possible. Their smile, it's literally the first impression, and it's very, very important in different aspects of life.
Obtaining a diploma at the Semmelweis University is a milestone that everyone can be proud of, since the world-class theoretical and practical training is a solid foundation for starting your professional life. The knowledge acquired here will help you start your career practically anywhere in the world.
The faculty has gained an international recognition by being within the first 250 universities offering dental training in the world. For the international students who are coming from more than 70 countries, it's a great advantage that after the graduation, they can practice all over in Europe, and they can move also to the US for postgraduate training. So with this diploma, they have good access to other work possibilities.
The Faculty of Dentistry means tradition,
knowledge,
hard work, and passion to me. Here we're doing everything from basic fillings to complex root canals to creating dentures and bridges. As well, we're learning very basics orthodontic appliances and how to manipulate them. As well, we're treating children now in the pedodontics department. And we go into the oral surgery department and we learn to do extractions, which is probably the most exciting thing.
Already at the third year, they see patients and do treatment with supervisors. For this, they have to get very practical knowledge already in the first 2 years, although the first 2 years is primarily for the general medical knowledge. which they can build on later on.
The practice here in dentistry provide us exactly what we're going to do in the future as a dentist. So as soon as you graduate from the university, you can just start your way immediately.
Since healing-related knowledge expands continuously and technical solutions evolve constantly, for a doctor, learning is a lifelong journey. Our university's postgraduate specialized, doctoral, and upskilling courses cover the entire dental career and help you keep your knowledge always up to date. And you can learn all of this straight from the best.
In the clinical practices, our teachers give us a lot of freedom and they trust us a lot, especially in the 5th year. They treat us as if we are colleagues and not just students.
I think the professor assists us in every single step that we take in this university, and every single professor in different departments are working together as well as working with the student to help our life become better here in the university.
If we are talking about dentistry, that's always at the cutting edge of technology. So we involve this new technology in our research. And since it's already in our research, we also included it in the teaching.
We use different advanced technology techniques in the practices, such as the CAD/CAM system and 3D impression taking.
In case you're not only interested in using the new achievements, but also researching them, the university supports both independent research and international collaborations.
The Faculty of Dentistry has a widespread international connections, both on research and teaching field. This also opens the international communication and the possibilities of Erasmus programs, taking part in studying foreign universities for a semester or two, and gaining good experience in international connections as well.
Education is conducted in 3 languages, since nearly a quarter of the students come from abroad. We have students from more than 50 countries, and thanks to the mixture of their diverse cultures, our scientific community is truly sparkling and inspiring.
Other students at the Faculty of Dentistry are very friendly because we're all far away from home, and whenever someone needs help, we're always there to help them out in any situation, and that's why it makes it feel like a second home to me.
It's a great community. It has a lot of developing potential, and I just feel like we will grow together as a community, as a faculty of dentistry, and also the university themselves, because everyone is being provided an equal opportunity here.
Of course, it's quite exhausting to study at this level of intensity for 5 whole years. So it is mandatory to take a break from time to time. There is no shortage of programs at our university. Partying and studying together quickly creates a bond between students.
The Student Association have events and parties and maybe some meetings every week for the student to have like a good social life together as a community. For example, like the student ball, or like a lot of boat party and a lot of events where students can join together, enjoy life.
I like being a student in Budapest because Budapest is a very big city. There's a lot to do and a lot to see, and you can always find people from all around the world here. So every time I walk anywhere where there's a historical building, it kind of takes me by surprise and takes my breath away.
Although there are strong communities at all the faculties of Semmelweis University, the Faculty of Dentistry is special. Lifelong friendships are formed between students year after year. You can definitely count on this alumni community anytime after graduation, just like on the Prestige. Respect and stable career guaranteed by your Semmelweis diploma.
When I look back, I would say that I have a great journey with the faculty themselves, because they have assisted me ever since day one that I joined the university. It has always been an experience that I enjoy, and I probably just love this faculty. I fell in love with it.
I'm proud that I can learn from the best at the best place possible.
As a dentist, I will play an essential part in medicine.
Choose a lifelong profession. Choose the Faculty of Dentistry at Semmelweis University.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jaishree Biswakarma, and thank you for joining us today. I'm a fifth-year medical student and also the president of the International Semmelweis Student Association. Today, with me, we have...
There is two of us from the English faculty. I'm the course director of the anatomy department, Dr. Andrea Székely, and I'm teaching anatomy, histology, and embryology to first and second year students. Dentistry and medicine students belong to me. Pharmacy students are guarded by another colleague of us. So basically we are going to talk about the three major faculties of the department. Over to you, Ms. Kevi.
Yeah, I'm Andrea Kevi. Welcome everybody. We are very happy to join us for this session, and we are happy to answer to all of your questions, which we will have time. And I'm the head of the English language programs. And as Professor Székely told you already, she's in charge of the academic part, so she will answer your questions which are related to academic issues, and myself will guide you with the administration process or the admission process of the two faculties.
Okay, thank you for joining us. My first question would be directed to Professor Székely. What percentage of students at the Faculty of Medicine and Dentistry are international students?
Right, actually we are in a very good position because we could say that the majority of the students are coming from abroad. So in the medicine faculty we've got 56%, if I remember well, of the total headcount, and in dentistry it's 52%. Pharmacy is about 30% out of the entire headcount, but we have to mention that international students are the students who are coming abroad except for Germany or Austria, so not the English, only the English-speaking part of it, yeah.
Okay, those are some wonderful numbers.
Right.
And my other question would be directed to Ms. Kevi. Do I need to learn Hungarian during my course of studies here in Semmelweis?
Yes, as far as you are here in Hungary, the hospitals usually have Hungarian nationals, so you have to study Hungarian as well. But in the curriculum, we have the Hungarian language, and it's by the time of your third year, basically you will know the basic Hungarian language, and you will be able to communicate with the staff and also with the patients at the hospitals.
Okay, that is fantastic. Professor Székely, could you tell us a little bit more about the interview process and what type of questions are generally asked?
Right, the interview is of course a very exciting moment of the admission procedure. It is composed of two parts. One is a written test, which the students can write via Zoom, and the second part is the oral questioning. We've got a set of questions which are also published on the departmental or the English departmental websites, so students can prepare themselves for the questions. And basically the oral questions are composed of two subjects, chemistry and biology, 2 questions of each. And it is to figure out that students coming from all sorts of different backgrounds and cultural schooling systems, so they have to have a good basic knowledge to start the academic life at Semmelweis. So we'd like to see how they respond to that. We are looking for good students, we are looking for good answers. We don't want to really stress the students. Of course it is a stressful procedure, but we'd like to make it easier for them. So we also conduct a discussion. It is in a way of discussion format, and we ask about their hobbies, their pastimes, if they like to sing. And it is very good if we know that they are interested in music, because in the university we've got an orchestra for medical students as well as a choir for people who are interested, who are good at singing. So it's actually, the student life is quite flourishing in our university. So we'd like to collect students with different interests too.
Of course, I agree. I think it is great that we should be able to continue pursuing our passions from school into university.
Definitely.
And for my next question, it is directed to Ms. Kevi. Are campus tours offered for interested students?
Yes, of course. If anyone interested in a campus tour, we can organize it. We're going to have one, but as far as I know, it's fully booked for February. But we are organizing it continually. A family can join us for a tour, or a bigger group can join us, and the only question is when is it available for them, or when is it appropriate, the timing for them to travel here to Hungary, and we are happy to help and guide them also with the organization process, and if they contact us at the admission team, we will happy to help.
Okay, that is good news. For my next question, I would like to go back to Professor Székely. How does the university support international students in adapting to academics, to life at Semmelweis, and also with research opportunities?
It is one of our most important target area. This is very difficult to adjust to life in a completely foreign country where people talk a completely understandable foreign language. So it is very, it's a cultural shock for most of the students. So we try to introduce programs to help them, giving out bulletins or making clubs, groups, meetings. And I would like to ask I'm always asking our student colleagues to look after the young ones, the freshmen, because they can give them the most important information about how to adjust to life, how to address people, how to write letters to professors or how to behave during the classes, because this is a completely different lifestyle starting in every September. So actually, when we are looking at the screens here, we can also see plenty of questions concerning the admission procedure or how the students are supported by the university. We offer a fellowship scheme. So this is the Stipendium Hungaricum, which they can also apply for. So they need a certain average, they need to maintain a good study level, and they have to collect some letters of recommendation from the instructors, and then they can apply for a certain scholarship, which then covers part of their studies, the fees.
That is fantastic to hear. Ms. Kevi, could you please tell us a little bit more about the GPA requirements for gaining admission into Semmelweis?
It's a very good question, because we do not have this, because we have our own entrance examination, which means that yes, we also checking the previous results of the student, but the main decision is basically based on the performance at the entrance examination. As Professor Székely already mentioned, it's built up from a written and an oral part, and the university also have other type of selections. So we, as the university, we would like to have our students from many different countries, and we would like to have it balanced. So as you already mentioned, the student life is also important, not just the academic part. So, but basically the main point is the entrance examination result. So the decision is based on the entrance examination result.
Okay, thank you so much. Professor Székely, could you tell us a little bit more about what are the typical career paths after somebody graduates from Semmelweis?
It is very interesting. There are several ways. You can always stay on and attend the doctoral school, the PhD program. If you find something interesting during your student years, then you can join the departments or the clinics as a research associate, research student, TDK students we call that. And if you're interested in that and you feel for having a higher degree, then you can submit an application for a PhD school, which means that after graduation you join a department, you participate in the teaching and the research work. That's one. And the other thing is that the other path, career path, that you may always want to go home. So that's another option for you. So, and some of the questions again on the screen relate to that. So there are different types of countries with different accreditation systems. So if you are a medicine student, then in the EU, your diploma is going to be accepted. Or also if you are a dentistry student, then in the EU, you are under this scheme, and this is the same, so diploma is accepted everywhere. If it is about the UK, then it is a little more difficult because basically that's also accepted. The United States, Canada have different schemes, so there you have to sit for the USMLE exams for an acceptance of the diploma or the equivalent Canadian system. But what I've heard about these, as well as for Israel, that Semmelweis students, 100% of them are going to master these examinations. As well as for the Far Eastern countries, we are also developing the accreditation system of our diplomas. So this is very nice to see that we've got a higher and higher number of the international community coming to Budapest.
It's also nice to hear that there are so many possibilities after graduation. Ms. Kevi, could you tell us a little bit more about if the university helps students with housing or adjusting to life around Budapest?
Yes, I guess so. It will be a more detailed conversation in the students' forum because as part of the administration, we show the way how to find or show the contacts who are able to help. But usually one opportunity we have Semmelweis Housing. They happy to help to find a flat for rent, or we also have in the surroundings there are college-like hostels or where the students can stay. And also the students among us, so we have the International Association, and the students are happy to help the newcomers to find a place to live or a roommate to live with. So yes, we do our best to have it as smooth as possible to move to Hungary and stay here.
Of course, I think that is very helpful from the university's point of view, as we are students coming from completely far away locations. For my last question, I would like to direct it to both of you, actually. How do you feel that is the best way for somebody to prepare their application when they're entering towards Semmelweis and when they wish to join Semmelweis?
So from an academic point of view, basically, since the students are coming from such a diverse community, so this is very good if they follow the guidelines, what they can find on the university homepage website. And basic chemistry, basic biology, whatever is a general knowledge that is required.
And also English language.
Yes, definitely. Yes,
definitely. Yeah. So all the entrance examinations are in English, also the written part, and we also have an English language session also in the written part. And usually the administration is very easy. We have an online system where the student can register. It's like a 10 minutes job for nowadays students. And we ask for only basic things to load up, to fill out some data, some personal data, the previous certificate of studies, so matriculation certificate or diploma, and also basic data like passport, copy, and in case of a successful admission, after the admission, we will ask for a medical certificate if they are fit to become a university student, because especially in dentistry it's physical too, so it's very important. And if anybody is stuck in the process, the admission team is happy to help also with the administration and the process. And for example, the exam registration is also going through this semaphore system. And a week before the entrance exam, they receiving a very detailed information letter regarding the step of the entrance exam. And after the exam, usually within a week, we will send the decision letters. Basically, that's it.
Actually, I
in
would
the
like
shell
to add a couple of words concerning the preparatory work. Although the results do not really depend on that, but there are pre-med courses which could also direct the students towards this system. So that is quite interesting to see. We haven't made any comparison, but doing plenty of oral examinations, I cannot really tell who's better, who's not. But that gives an idea to students how can prepare themselves for the university. And the semaphore system is really good. And I would like to add that not only freshmen are coming to university, but there are transfer students who should also use the same system, the semaphore system. And then part of their previous degrees or part of their previous curricular studies will be accepted, or they will have to repeat some of the subjects depending on the results. Okay. So that's all through this semaphore system.
Well, it's lovely to hear about the semaphore system, and it's also lovely to have used it once. Thank you so much for your time today. As we come to the end of the session, I would really like to thank Ms. Kevi and Professor Székely for their time and their wonderful responses.
Lovely.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Bye-bye then.
Everybody.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome to the heart of Europe, Budapest, a bustling metropolis with an ever-changing face. Everything you can imagine is right here, right now. The majestic Danube, the compelling Buda, the lively Pest, architecture, culture, gastronomy, and of course, history. This divine metropolis serves as a home of the 250-year-old Semmelweis University. Just like the city, our university nurtures its centuries-old traditions while also putting an emphasis on modernity and constant development. Our health education, truly outstanding by international standards, takes place in 6 faculties. Now let's introduce a faculty with a rich history. The Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences. It was founded in 1955, although it's worth noting that pharmacists have been trained within these walls well before that.
Semmelweis University can give different opportunities for incoming students, and its diploma is widely accepted, so I'm sure it's a great opportunity to pursue studies here.
Actually, my parents are pharmacists, and as such, the love for this profession was instilled to me from a very young age. And as I grow older and older, seeing them work really made me want to follow in their footsteps.
How easy is it to find a job with a pharmacy degree is an important question. Spoiler alert, it's really easy. But what might be even more important is that the training itself offers numerous interesting opportunities.
I got to feel like I'm really making something that's going to be used to actually cure or alleviate pain to someone. I really was fascinated by how medicines, in this case I mean drugs, how they work. And to me it seemed like some kind of magic. And so I wanted to find out how really the magic works.
After I get my diploma, there are different areas I can continue my education and career in. For instance, it could be industry, pharmacy, community pharmacies, or even hospital clinics.
The high value of our diploma is based on the combination of traditions and modernity and innovations in the education, research, as well as drug supply. The students are learning to be experts of the medicinal products. The value of our degree is demonstrated also by the position in the ranking like the QS ranking system, where we are in a position among the first 250 universities and faculties.
Pharmaceutical research is one of the fastest developing disciplines, so our curriculum contains the latest achievements of pharmaceutics. The training that awaits you here covers a constantly increasing number of topics.
So when it comes to Semmelweis University, you are able to pursue a PharmD diploma, which is actually a doctor of pharmacy, which is something that you're not able to get in all universities or in many universities for that matter.
Although a modern laboratory environment is a must at a world-class university, the most valuable opportunities will come to you through cooperation. Cooperation with the researchers of the 5 other faculties of Semmelweis University, with academic research groups, with foreign universities, and even with the biggest market players. Thanks to this, as a student, you can gain experience in the production of new medical products, in substance and manufacturing development, in the study of new therapeutic methods. So basically, you will get all the support you need in order to start your career.
You will have connections throughout the world, different companies, different people that can actually help you throughout. So these connections are far more than simple. These friendships are going to make something greater in the future.
The faculty staff is cooperating in many fields of the pharmaceutical science with the R&D centers, health centers, and also with the pharmaceutical companies. In addition, there are intensive cooperations with universities in Europe or overseas, and this cooperation serves as a good basis for the scientific research activities and publications.
The Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences means cooperation, opportunity,
friendship, competition,
and analysis to me.
Theory is the foundation of knowledge, and we put an emphasis on it. However, there are secrets to your profession you can only learn during practice. It's for this reason that starting from the first weeks at the Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences, you'll take practical classes regularly at modern laboratories and at the clinics among patients. So almost half of the 5-year pharmacist training consists of practical classes, not just in labs, but also in hundreds of training pharmacies. This teaching method guarantees you will gain instantly usable and up-to-date experience.
During our 3rd year, we are learning more about the traditional part of making drugs and pills and different suppositories. But when it comes to the 4th year, we are shifting a bit and we get to know how the different devices help us to make the same pills but in industrial scale.
By using this kind of equipment, you are able to get experience and see and feel what you're going to use in your work practice.
If you choose PhD training, you can work on developments that might provide solutions to future health challenges, possibly with your help. Of course, the university provides you with all the help you need for this, straight from the best.
There are great teachers, I would say, that I've met here, many of whom I look up to. It does not strictly have to be an educational relationship, as many of the teachers that you will meet here can become friends later down the road. During
our 3rd year, we were introduced to Professor Antal, and he addressed us as the colleagues. That's time we realized that we're actually going to become pharmacists one day.
At Semmelweis University's Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences, education is conducted in 3 languages: Hungarian, English, and German. This is one of the reasons students join us from all over the world. Since everyone brings their own exciting cultures, the atmosphere is truly welcoming.
There are a lot of student parties that are organized by either the clubs or even the school itself. You wouldn't lack where to go to have a nice weekend at.
Budapest is a really great city with a great history, so of course it has different ways to experience the culture by visiting museums or art galleries, but of course the gem is probably the ruined parts, which you cannot find in other countries. I'm proud that I can learn from the best at the world-class Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences.
As a pharmacist, I will be a pillar of medicine and pharmaceutical industry.
Choose a lifelong profession. Choose the Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences at Semmelweis University.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jaishree, and I'm a fifth-year medical student and also the president of the International Semmelweis Student Association. I'm happy to be your host for today, along with the Deputy Dean of the Faculty of Pharmacy, Professor Tamás Tábi, and the head of the International Directorate of Semmelweis, Ms. Andrea Kevi. For my first question, I would like to direct it to Professor Tábi. What kind of subjects would I learn as a student in the pharmacy faculty?
At the Faculty of Pharmacy, we have a basic module in the first 2 academic year that covers subjects that are important to understand more specific pharmaceutical specific subjects. These are mainly chemistry subjects, but there are also biology, physics, and some other medical stuff such as physiology, genetics, cell biology, and so on. And in the 3rd year, 4th year, and after, we will have more specific pharmaceutical subjects dealing with the production, manufacturing of drugs, the effect of drugs, the mode of action, the chemical analysis related to the drugs, and at the final part there are internships when the students go to pharmacy clinics and practice the real work of a pharmacist.
Thank you so much. That curriculum sounds very exciting. Ms. Kevi, could you tell us a little bit more about recommendation letters and if a student should upload them in the Sem4 system, maybe, if they were applying to Semmelweis?
During the administration process, it's not an obligatory, so we are happy if someone could upload a recommendation letter or maybe more, but it's not obligatory. We use this as also with the process of admission and we using it for the evaluation of the applications.
Thank you so much. Professor Tábi, could you let us know a little bit more about what life looks after Semmelweis as a pharmacy graduate?
The pharmacy certificate or diploma, it is a quite valuable diploma and a versatile one. So in addition to working as a pharmacist in a pharmacy, our graduates or pharmacists that graduated from Semmelweis or can work some other stuff such as clinical pharmacist in the hospitals, clinics, participating in the management of the drug therapy of the patients. And our university, our faculty has a relatively intensive focus on the pharma industry trainings, so our graduates can gain some jobs or works in the pharma industry, both in the manufacturing and quality assurance, marketing, and other pharma industry stuffs.
Okay, thank you so much. As part of their curriculum, do they have to take part in any internship?
Yeah, we have mandatory internships. So during the training, after the 2nd and the 3rd and the 5th or 4th academic year, there will be some internship mainly in pharmacies, but also some pharma industry or clinics can be chosen as a place of internship. And the last semester, so the 10th semester of the training, is completely an internship, mainly in pharmacy, 4 months in pharmacy and 1 month in clinical pharmacy, so in the hospital.
Thank you so much. Ms. Kevi, could you tell us a little bit more about the application deadlines, when they open, when they close?
Of course, I'm happy to. So this year the application will start on the 3rd of February, and the application can be uploaded by the end of May. And usually the entrance examination session starts in early March, and we're going to have, as in the previous years, we had exams basically weekly. So we have online examinations as well and on-site exams as well. And some of the on-site exams are going to be here in Budapest at the university or at our pre-med partners. And also last year we traveled to Japan to do the on-site exam, and also to Israel. And it depends on the amount of the applicants from a country, and also if we have a partner who help the students at the country to apply, and we are happy to go and do the exam there as well. And the exam session usually closes by the end of June. And we also have a waiting list where, because we have 2 exam opportunities for the students. So in case of the first exam is not successful enough, let's say this way, and as we need to fill in the spots we have at the university at the chosen faculty, we need to keep also available seats for the student by the end of the whole period, and therefore we are very careful to offer the opportunity to those who are only able to apply, for example, in late May, and they only do the exams in June. So basically that's it. And also, if you still have any questions regarding the timing of the exams, just feel free to ask the admission team, and we are happy to help.
Thank you so much. I think that clarifies a lot for everyone watching us today. Professor Tábi, could you tell us a little bit more about research in the Faculty of Pharmacy?
Of course. Faculty of Pharmacy has a strong research basis, and the students also can join to the research of the faculty in the TDK program. It is the Hungarian name of the Scientific Students Association. The students can join in various subjects, various fields of research, including chemical research, biological researches, researches related to formulation of new drug dosage forms, or about the mode of action of drugs. We have all types of researches that covers the whole spectrum of the pharmacy science.
Thank you so much. And for my last question, I would like to direct it to the both of you. What sort of applicants do you think make a good candidate to be a part of the Semmelweis Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences?
I think, of course, in addition to being a smart and intelligent students, it is very important to be an open-minded and a motivated one who would like to learn and progress in the academic stuffs, and in addition to the social life of the university.
Okay.
Yeah, and from my side only is for the newcomers, we all know that it's not easy to get used to the Hungarian system, especially it's someone's coming from a very different country or different culture, and we happy to have the International Student Association, and they can help you to fit in. And for the administration part, I guess I don't know how to say it, but so who try to make the effort to become a part of the Semmelweis community. So basically, beside the studies, it's important to have good relationship with not only the student, but the teachers as well, or professors, and also with the administrative staff. And I guess the communication skill is very important for a student as well, not just being good at, especially in a subject or a field.
Of course. Thank you so much. As we come to the end of our session, I would kindly like to thank Professor Tábi and Miss Andrea Kevi for their time today and for answering our multiple questions with wonderful responses. And we also want to thank you all for joining us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
What could be better than being a first-year student in Budapest, in this beautiful, bustling city with a rich culture? Perhaps being a student of the most dynamically developing faculty of the prestigious Semmelweis University, the Faculty of Health Sciences. This faculty is over 40 years old, offering the widest range of health education options.
It's a very prestigious university that can help me get career opportunities not only in Hungary but also in the rest of the world.
Whenever I come to this faculty every day, whenever I have classes, I really feel like I'm not going to university. It's like my friend's house or somewhere because I really feel so comfortable here.
The Faculty of Health Sciences is the second largest faculty of Semmelweis University, where nearly 3,700 students complete their studies each year. Our faculty's training programs, like other programs at Semmelweis University, represent a high standard and enjoy a good reputation, which is why students apply to us from all over the world.
The faculty's mission is creating the possibility of lifelong learning. So when help is needed, everyone can offer the best of their knowledge. Students at the Faculty of Health Sciences are highly passionate about their professions, no matter what specialization they might choose. A wide variety of practice venues, training kitchens, baby mom rooms, and gymnasiums await. In the Oxy Arena, you can even simulate real accidents. Hospital practices are also key.
I chose to be a nurse because ever since I've been young, I wanted to work in a medical field, working alongside many people like nurses, doctors, and other staff, and have a very one-to-one connection with the patients that I can follow throughout their health journey.
As a result of the high number of practical classes, students get to know the patient care system and the diagnostic and nursing task of their field before they officially become employees. We have nearly 150 practice venues, and our largest clinical partner is Semmelweis University with its modern clinics of more than 3,000 beds.
The practical classes are pretty nice in Semmelweis University. Every time I had a different kind of experience, and it's really nice because in every hospital there are so many things to learn. So we learn new technology in the robotic section as well, and also we learn some breathing mechanism in a cardiorespiratory hospital practice as well, and pulmo as well.
A colorful community and an enormous team await you here. The members are connected by the desire to help. During the small group sessions, each student gets special attention from their professors. This way you can start working with confidence anywhere in the world, right after obtaining your diploma. Employers are also on the lookout for specialists who are equally well-versed in theory and practice.
The Faculty of Health Sciences means friendship,
opportunity and career,
new skills and knowledge to me.
A number of training opportunities await you at this faculty, since 7 of its bachelor's and 2 of its master programs are also available in English. As the knowledge of health science constantly broadens, our postgraduate courses help you keep your knowledge up to date. If you're attracted to a scientific or research career, you can choose from numerous topics. These include stress management, effects of psychoactive drugs, premature birth or malformation, just to name a few. And you learn directly from the best.
The professors are really nice. They are top-notch professors. They are really helpful. Whenever I'm stuck in any kind of problem, I just contact to them and they came with a solution every time.
Besides the methods, the technical environment of healthcare is also developing at an amazing pace. High-tech simulation laboratories, classrooms, and practice areas await you. And, as a bonus, a lot of cool students, just like you.
When I first came in the university, I found a lot of international students, so it's really a diversity. There are a lot of students who are all over around the world, and also the Hungarian students as well.
The first few weeks or days are very difficult when you come from a different country to Hungary, because you don't know anything about transport, about accommodation and everything, so they helped me a lot and I'm very thankful to them.
I joined when I was at the end of first year, so the other students already knew each other and I was the new one. But immediately they accepted me, they let me join their groups.
Obviously, as a student, it's not only studying and science you're interested in. Good news, we love to party here. From the freshman's ball to the graduation ceremony, we often organize events where we can all chill and relax. We know that choosing a profession where you dedicate your entire life to helping and being responsible for other people's lives can be challenging, not to mention the fact that you attend a legendary university with a history of over 250 years. However, if you accept these challenges, you will get quality in return. Quality in education, in work, and in one of the most important communities in your life.
There was a cultural event where everyone could share their food from their own country, they could share their culture, they could talk about it to other students. So it was a good sociable event where you could easily get friends from different faculties too.
I think that Budapest is probably the light of Hungary. It is a great city, probably the most beautiful in the whole of Europe. I think the transportation, the food is great, the people are great. And especially for a student or just a foreigner in general, it's a really nice environment to be in. Every room, every corner has become very close to me, and I've lived here for some time now, and it's become like my second home. It's really awesome.
I will play an essential part in medicine, and it's really good to know that.
The secret of successful healing is teamwork. Join us.
Choose a lifelong profession. Choose the Faculty of Health Sciences at Semmelweis University.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jaishree Biswakarma, and I'm a fifth-year medical student, along with being the president of the International Semmelweis Student Association. Today, for this Q&A session, with me, we have...
Hello and everybody, welcome to this online open day, let's call it, open evening here in Budapest. I'm László Matos, I'm the Vice Dean or Deputy Dean of Education of the András Pető Faculty in Semmelweis University.
Good evening everybody, my name is István Vingender. I am the Vice Dean of the Faculty of Health Sciences, responding for academic affairs.
Thank you so much to both of you for joining us today. For my first question, I would like to direct it at Professor Matos. Could you tell us a little bit more about what type of applicants are you looking for the András Pető faculty?
Well, you might be a little bit surprised, but for the conductor, we call this program Conductor BA. Conductor BA program doesn't request the so-called GPA, which is the grade per average. This is not the most principal factor. To become a conductor, I would say there are other much more important factors, such as the inner motivation to help people in need, the ability to care for people with disabilities is much more important. That doesn't mean that we will accept anyone with any results from their previous education. At the Semmelweis University and of course at the András Pető faculty, we are looking for the best applicants. If we need to choose between two applicants, the personality, the willingness to do everything necessary for the benefit of another person is more important. Therefore, we expect from our applicants to be able to communicate well, very well, to be patient and selfless, and a good collaborator. previous experience in rehab section, rehab field, or special education is a plus.
Thank you so much. That sounds wonderful. Professor Vingender,
Yes.
could you tell us a little bit more about how at the Faculty of Health Sciences do you manage the practical and the theoretical knowledge for students?
Our teaching program divided into two parts. There are practical lessons, practical knowledges, and theoretical knowledges. The most important part is practical knowledges. Of course, firstly, students have to learn theoretical knowledge, but after that, since the first academic year, they can pass some practical lessons. Practices are going in our institution in the first and second year, and in the third and 4 years our students visit different clinics, and they pass their practices in clinical area.
That sounds wonderful. Thank you so much. Professor Matos, could you tell us a little bit more about life after Semmelweis as somebody who graduates from the András Pető faculty?
Well, the conductors with this certificate don't have an easy life at all. They have to deal with motor disabled children, motor disabled adults. We call it a lifelong way to help this disabled person. So this is not an easy life, but this is a wonderful, a beautiful job, and we are really very proud that this profession, not job, profession is absolutely well known all over the world. So from the African part to the United States or Japan or Asia, everybody knows András Pető, everybody knows the conductive pedagogy, and this is almost the 70th year that András Pető has found this complex methodology.
It sounds wonderful. Thank you so much for your answer. Professor Vingender, could you tell us a little bit more about how the University of Semmelweis is different from the other universities which also offer these Faculty of Health Sciences courses?
First of all, our faculty is a faculty of Semmelweis University, which is one of 300 best universities, 300 best universities in all over the world. It means that we are part of a university which is in 1% of best universities. That's why our diploma is recognized in all over the world without any doubt. Of course, in different countries, can ask some practices or some added exam, but from the United States till China, our diploma is recognized, and it is a very good thing.
I agree. I think it definitely opens a lot of places where somebody could work after graduating from Semmelweis. For my last question, I would like to direct it to the both of you. How do you feel the university supports students who are struggling with academics and also coping with living in Budapest, as it is a new city for a lot of us?
Well, our faculty is the youngest one in the Semmelweis University. We joined the university in 2017, so this is our 7th year. But since I became the deputy dean, I feel that this university is really helpful with the students. There are so much art programs, sport programs, many possibilities, many chances to be able to enjoy the life after classes. So I would say Semmelweis University is probably, at least in Hungary, probably the best helpful university for the students?
In our faculty, we offer very many kind of helps for students. I would like to highlight one of forms of these supports. Approximately 15 years ago, we introduced a tutorial system in the teaching. It means that every group, every student group has a teacher who not only teaches some subject, but help student to solve their problem, to ask their question, to organize their student life and personal life also. I think it is a very important and very great support for students.
I agree too. Thank you so much for your time today. As we come to the end of the session, I would really like to thank Professor Vingender and Deputy Dean Professor Matos for their time and their wonderful responses for all the students watching us today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for attention.
I'm Peter, and I will be studying dentistry at Semmelweis University.
I'm Shanti. I'm from South Korea, and I'll be studying at the Faculty of General Medicine.
My name is Miriam, and I'm starting the Faculty of General Medicine.
I chose Semmelweis because not only is it in the beautiful city of Budapest, but also teaching is very high quality, and I've heard a lot of good things about the university.
I was actually in the library. I was studying for my university exams, and I applied with a friend. So we both received our letters at the same time, and I opened it up, and it was I was admitted. So we just screamed at the library. I was really, really happy. It's something that I worked towards for many years. So to finally have that dream fulfilled was incredible.
I mean, I was really, really happy, and I've been studying for the entrance exams to get in, and I've been preparing. I've done a lot of research, so when I finally got in, I was really happy, super excited to come, and it's one step closer to my dream, so I'm really happy to be here.
I was actually in Switzerland, and I opened my email and I saw there was a Semmelweis letter, and I got really excited, and I was scrolling really fast through the email to see the yes or no. And when I saw the yes, I started jumping. I was really excited.
I looked at a lot of different schools in Europe. I've lived abroad before, so I knew I wanted to go at an international school. That was really important to me, and Semmelweis has a big community of international students. And the school is really prestigious, and I know I will have a really good education, so that's why I settled on Semmelweis.
I was born in Hungary. However, after I was 8 years old, because of my parents' work, we moved to Poland for 5 years, and that's when I started to learn English, when I was 8 years old. And after Poland, we moved to Switzerland for 5 years, and I continued to learn English. And that's why I came to the English faculty, because I actually know more English than Hungarian.
I was looking all over the world for English-speaking programs, and I really wanted to come to Europe, and Hungary was one country that had English programs, and they also offered a scholarship, so I wanted to go for that. And I loved the program. It seemed to have a really good, practical part as well as different subjects, so I'm really excited.
My motivation to become a dentist was actually when I was pretty young. I had this thing called overbite, where my lower jaw was not where it should have been and my jaw was deformed. And this was actually fixed by a dentist. And at that point, when it was fixed, I knew I was going to pursue this passion.
I love science. I love figuring out how the body works and how outside forces can impact and influence our systems. So it just combined the human aspect and the science part.
I used to live in India when I was really young, and you see a lot of homeless people or people who are sick on the streets, and growing up I always thought I wanted to help them. So even if it's not India, if I get a doctor's degree in Semmelweis, I'd love to do my further studies and then go maybe around different countries to help people like the people I saw in India. So I guess that's my plan for now.
My dream is to, of course, open an own practice, and also I would like to travel the world, so maybe open a practice in Asia, for example. That would be really cool, I think.
If this is something you want to do, if you're passionate about medicine, go for it. It's gonna have some unexpected turns and it's gonna surprise you, but I'm sure it's gonna be some of the best years of your life, and chances are worth taking, so yeah, go for it.
Good evening, everyone joining us today for the Student Forum section at the Semmelweis University Online Open Day. My name is Jaishree Biswakarma, and I'm a fifth-year medical student. I'm also the president of the International Semmelweis University, and today with me we have in the room...
I'm Kenz. I'm a fourth-year medical student at Semmelweis as well, and I'm also part of the ISSA and the newsletter team.
I'm Dania. I'm fifth-year pharmacy student. I'm part of ISSA as well, as a student affairs representative. And today we're gonna share our experiences about Semmelweis life.
Yes, this forum is exactly where you will find out the in and outs of Semmelweis life. But before we get into that, I would like to introduce to everyone what exactly is ISSA. So ISSA stands for the International Semmelweis Student Association. We're the international student body for students at Semmelweis, ensuring that students at Semmelweis have a representation, voice, and also a lot of fun. We are made up of several teams ranging from student affairs, which Dania here is a part of, to newsletter, which Kenz is a part of. Additionally, we also have teams like external affairs, internal affairs, events, and charity to ensure that your time at Semmelweis is an enjoyable one. Now I will talk a little bit more about life as a student at Semmelweis. And as a student at Semmelweis, I think the first and most important thing is the excellence learning and teaching. There are multiple innovative methods with which teachers teach us and guide us, and at the Faculty of Medicine we have 3 years of a theoretical course and then 3 years of a hands-on practical learning experience. Dania, would you like to share a little bit more about your experience as a pharmacy student?
Yeah, actually in pharmacy we have 5 years of school in total. That excludes the summer practices that are usually held during the summer, and they range from a month to 2 months, but usually we practice our theoretical part plus the practical part during the semester, and then we have a practical summer practice during the summer where we can see how our work usually happens in real life and how our jobs are in the pharmacy, in the hospital, or in industries as well. And I think we have a lot to experience during our, I think, 9 months of studies in the university, because we have practical classes almost every day during the week. So it makes us more familiar with what we're expected to do, what we expect from our work, etc.
Kenz, would you like to elaborate a little bit more about the Faculty of Medicine?
Yeah, of course. So right now in my 4th year, so that means that I'm taking turns in different rotations. Currently I'm on my dermatology, which means that I get to go and see what it's like really in the hospital and what it feels like to be a dermatologist. So we don't only have lectures, we also get to see different patients. We get to see the practical side of medicine, which is so much fun compared to the first 3 years for sure. On top of that, the first 3 years also add clinical experience, because, for example, in anatomy, we get to see cadavers in real life, like the muscles and the different parts of the body in real life, as well as in pathology, we get to see autopsies. So, and in medical chemistry, we get to make real experiments. So, in general, from the start to the end, we have a lot of practical teaching, which is very insightful. Yeah.
Perfect, that sounds exciting. Could you both maybe also elaborate a little bit about the extracurriculars that you face and you can have fun with at Semmelweis?
Yeah, actually we have clubs in the university, like the Zumba club or the basketball club or book club even. And interesting enough, you can even start your own club. So that is a really nice thing, because it gives us opportunities to find new friends, get to know other people, and then know more about their experiences. And I like for freshmen, for example, it's a really amazing idea of going into a club or joining a club, because you can know upper year students, and so you can know what to expect during exams and so on forth. I think you also have...
Yeah, I think on top of the clubs being important for you as an individual to, you know, have a work-life balance, on top of that, it's good to, like you said, know upper year students so that you know exactly what to expect over there. We also have, you know, the cultural clubs, like we're in ISSA, so it's the Arab Association. There's also an African Association. There's different countries you can find. So you're outside of your home country, but you can also find connection there, which I find very important, especially in their first few years.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really fun.
They make a lot of events, so you can like enjoy but still get to know people from university. So it's a very good like mix.
Yeah, and you're making friends all the time. First year to third year, I'm still making new friends, so it's great, yeah.
Yeah.
That is wonderful to hear. I do have to agree. Being a part of an international association helps a lot when you're homesick and when you're feeling like, I just want to go home right now.
Exactly.
And I think it's also a great way to get to know seniors, like you mentioned. And I feel that this diversity and inclusivity that we have going on at Semmelweis really makes it enjoyable to be a part of Semmelweis students. I wanted to ask you both if you are doing research work at any place, because we get a lot of questions about students and how they can do research during their time at Semmelweis.
Yeah, I do research in the pharmaceutical chemistry department, and I've been doing it for like a year and a half almost. And to be honest, it's one of the best things I've ever done, because not only do you get to know like new people, as in teachers or like PhD students, or even professors that actually teach you in real life, but you can also like publish your article. For example, I published my article like 2 months ago, and you can have something for your CV, but you can also have or get some experience on how to work with other people or in a group. And I think that is one of the biggest benefits of TDK for me, which is student research.
Yeah, I can agree with you with that. I'm just starting off, so I don't have my articles or anything, but I'm at the Center of Translational Medicine, and I'm currently doing like pancreatic cancer research, which is super interesting. And you get to also meet PhD students who have already graduated, and they have a different type of insight for you. So that's for sure adds different set of skills on your, you know, in their CV, in your life in general. And I'm looking forward to getting my co-authorship.
I do agree. As somebody who has a co-authorship, it is a very big milestone, and I have to congratulate you that.
Thank you.
And I do think that Semmelweis as a university also really pushes us towards research opportunities. A lot of times when we're in clinics or even doing theoretical classes, in fact, professors encourage us to email them if we would like to help out with their research. And a lot of the research at Semmelweis is also hands-on. So you gain a lot of experience, and you're given a lot of independence in the way that you can conduct the research. And I think that is a very exciting part of being a medical student. Personally, I do research in neuroscience, and it's my favorite part of the day, going to my lab every day. And I think that the way that things are structured at Semmelweis, it's actually also not very hard to manage. I know a lot of people are doing research, and I think for medicine students especially, third year is a good time to start.
I agree.
Exactly.
And what would you say is a good time for pharmacy students to start?
Actually, I started on my fourth year, like beginning of fourth year. So, but I would say third is also a good time to start. But looking at the amount of subjects we have in third year, I prefer to start on my fourth year. So it really depends on the person and on how they manage their time.
Yeah.
But I think fourth is a good year to start.
I think for me as well, actually for medicine, I would agree fourth. But like third is good depending on how you manage your time again.
Yeah.
For me, fourth, because we're starting clinicals, we have a lot more free time. So it helps to have that, you know?
Yeah, and I think research while you're at clinics also definitely shows you a lot of different ways that you could approach the subject. Like for example, the research topic that I work on is Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease, and there is so much yet that has not been discovered, and it's very very exciting to be part of such new discoveries. So I'm really grateful to Semmelweis for that. And moving on from Semmelweis as a university, we would also like to talk a little bit about Budapest, the city that we spend most of our time here. And for people in medicine it's 6 years, for people in pharmacy it's 5 years, but I feel like Budapest as a city is so lovely that no matter how much time we spend here, it doesn't get boring. Kent and Dania, would you like to share a little bit more about your experience?
Yeah, sure. I mean, for me, starting off first year, saw so many different monuments and different, you know, historical places all around Budapest. But on top of that, I was able to go to different cities in Budapest because of the amazing, you know, transportation that doesn't cost anything, basically. And like lasts maybe an hour. Just, for example, you can go to Szentendre, which is a city across the Danube. It's beautiful, and you get a lot of different experience with the history there.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. And since Budapest, if you just look at the map, you can see that all trains, all buses, everything just stops in Budapest and then goes everywhere. So I think that's a very good thing for students, especially that are coming to Semmelweis, because as a student you don't know where to go, how to go, when to go. So you can just open Google Maps and be like, oh, I want to go there. How can I take, what do I take, where do I go? And it just tells you everything. And to be honest, like, since I lived here before university, I can see why people really love the city, because it's been like 8 years here and I really don't get enough of the city. Like, wherever I go to Europe, I'm like, oh, Budapest is so beautiful. Like,
it has a different type of history to it, right?
It has like a different touch. I think it has like, just walking on the Danube at night is just a different experience in my opinion.
And I agree with that, because the public transport in Budapest is one of the best that I've seen in my life ever. And I think that makes it so accessible that sometimes when you're just tired of studying and you just want to take a break, even if it's at 12 a.m., you'll find a public transport that can take you to some part of the city.
It's safe as well.
Exactly, yes. And I feel that while you're in Budapest, there's always something new coming up. There's new classes you can take, and also the fact that there's so many international students at Semmelweis and in Budapest makes it so much easier to communicate with everyone. I would recommend you to learn Hungarian, because when we communicate with patients, Hungarian does help a lot. But for living in Budapest, I've never felt like, because I don't know Hungarian well enough, it's like a language barrier or as such. Do you have a favorite place in Budapest that you would really like to visit?
Like to visit, or have I already visited?
Both.
For me, it's always the Danube, honestly.
Same here.
Like my top #1 place, it's the chain bridge. It's so pretty.
I have to agree. I really love the Danube at night. It's gorgeous. I think like the lights, the parliament, everything just makes it so like out of this world kind of.
I would want to go to like maybe Debrecen or, you know, Szeged as a different city, because it adds a different vibe. We'll see what's there, because that's also a community, like a university community there. So
and I agree with the Hungarian train system and even the public transport outside of Budapest.
So easy.
It's very easy to travel within. Like, I've been to Esztergom, I've been to Eger, and all these cities have so much history and culture. It's so interesting to learn when you're there. How would you say that you're able to manage your time to be able to, you know, enjoy life in Budapest and also be a good Semmelweis student?
To be honest, like first year is gonna be hard. So you're still new to everything, so you don't know what to do, how to study, where to go for like shopping for groceries or anything. But then I think the first semester is going to be a little hard to actually enjoy the city. But after that, I think you can start to like know when to study, know when to take a break, obviously, because you can't study 24/7. It's gonna burn you out, and then you're not gonna be able to study, but you're also not enjoying your life. So I think first semester I would recommend like freshmen to like see how they can study, or like, I don't know, see what ways work for them, or where to study, for example in the library or outside or in a cafe or somewhere. And then after that they would be able to like see the city. I think first see the university and then later see the city, because first you have to manage your studies, and then I think eventually it just comes with time, then you can manage your studies plus enjoy your life, kind of.
I would say focus on building a good study routine first and then see how it goes. For me, what helps me is having a good study group where we finish our exams, you know, like push through, and then right afterwards we do a lot of fun activities or go out or something. But having building your schedule is super easy, so I don't think that's something to worry about. First year might be a bit hard, but then you'll get used to it for sure.
I have to agree. Having a good friend group while you're in Budapest is the best part that you can take away from Semmelweis. And that is also what I love about Semmelweis. Ever since I've been here, I have met people from so many different cultures, so many different countries, some which I didn't even hear of before, and some which I didn't expect at all. And I think that really allows you to understand how somebody else from a different culture would feel, or how they would react to a situation, or how they would deal with things. And I think it's very exciting to be able to learn from each other and grow together in our very long journey of being at Semmelweis. Dania, since you're so close to graduation, would you like to maybe talk a little bit about life after Semmelweis?
Yeah, actually, I was like thinking about it, because to be honest, Semmelweis does give us a lot about what we have to do, how we have to do our job basically, or where can we go after graduation. I think the really good thing about Semmelweis is that there is something called a career day, and in the career day you can kind of see in the future what are your opportunities. You can like meet with actual people that work in that field and then discuss with them what is best for you and what you feel suits you best after graduation. So I think that's a really good thing. And personally, I think summer practices, as I mentioned earlier, are a very, very good opportunity to know what you can do later. Because for pharmacy, you can go for summer practice in hospitals, you can go in like community pharmacies, and also in industries. And then by going through those practices, you can know which one suits you better, and then you can decide on your future. But obviously it's very hard, and I think it takes time until you really know what you like and what is your area of interest. So
I have to say it's similar for us in medicine actually. A lot of the blocks that I've done, which is how our system works in the 4th, 5th and 6th year, is that we spend, like Ken said, we spend specific weeks at a specific block and a clinic. And since the clinics are so spread out around Budapest, it also gives you time to enjoy the city while you're traveling to go to the clinic. But I feel like spending a lot of time at the clinics and actually talking to the people who are working that job already definitely gives you a lot of clarity on how I would feel myself doing that job, and how I would feel myself like being a resident in pulmonology, for example, and also how it is in Hungary, because there are a lot of Semmelweis international students who do graduate and continue to work in Hungary. And in fact, there's a lot who go abroad as well. There's a lot who go to the States, there's a lot who go to the UK and to the Ireland. And I think that to keep in touch with your seniors, and especially with the alumni, really helps in some ways as well. So I feel that like during these clinics, and while like being a part of all these associations and clubs, it definitely helps keeping in touch with people and just networking essentially. And while talking about networking, I think it's a really good time to talk about ISSA's role in student life. So as someone who's been part of ISSA for 3 years, I feel that my biggest and my most exciting part of Semmelweis has been ISSA. As we go by our slogan that we are for internationals and by internationals, we host such a wide variety of events, and we even host your white coat ceremony in the 4th year for medicine and in 3rd year for pharmacy. And there's just so much that we do to keep students engaged and keep students having a fun time at Semmelweis. And I also feel that having an international student body really helps with making sure that our voices and our issues are heard to the university. And I'm really thankful that the university is very open to working with us, to making sure that the life at Semmelweis is always improving for international students. Kens and Dania, would you like to share a little bit more about your experience in ISSA?
Actually, I just recently joined ISSA this year, and I'm part of the newsletter team. For me, I joined ISSA because I loved writing, and I like to help through my writing, and I think that connecting ISSA and connecting university to my writing really helped me, you know, view my hobby in a different way as well. So for me, I love that I meet different people in ISSA. I love that I go to different events. I get to feel like I'm part of a community, and I get to feel like I'm actually having an impact on people. So that's my favorite part for sure, yeah.
I think my favorite part is that ISSA is like a second family in university. So it's like you can count on someone for sure when you have a problem, when you want to ask a question. And nonetheless, I think ISSA is like a very huge part of students' like study life, because they make events. We get to enjoy the events and also participate as ISSA members. So I think that's a really nice touch to our, I think, study life and to other students' study life, not only ISSA members. So
okay. And as we come to an end of our session, I have one last question for both Kent and Dania. Is that, what do you think are some qualities that, as a person in your respective fields, you would like to hold on to and take away after you graduate from Semmelweis? It's like 2 or 3 qualities.
I think the international community definitely taught me empathy. So that's something I will take into account, the different cultural variations of how someone might take what I say or what I do. And because I get to interact with different people, that allows me to hold that space for my patients in the future. I think my time management, because obviously medical school's a lot, so it allows me to organize my life in a better way. And I've grown a lot. Just the immense amount of growth I've made from first to sixth year, sorry, fourth year has been a lot, honestly. So definitely taking all of that with me in the future, yeah.
I think I would want to take time management, as Ken said, because like pre-Semmelweis, I really had trouble finding when to study, what to study, and how to manage my time. But then Semmelweis taught me a lot about time management. When to decide to start studying for your midterms is like a crucial thing. Other than that, I think I'm taking a lot of friendships with me after graduating. Although I'm pretty sure we're not going to be in the same country or the same region, but I think social media made it very easy for us to communicate, so thank God. But I think other things I am going to take with me, I think communicating with people, communication skills. My communication skills have improved like to the sky, because not only being part of ISSA, but also like just daily communication with like secretary or the teachers, it just helps to build your personality. And as Ken said, we grew up in this university, so yeah, I think those are what I want to take with me.
I think those are some wonderful qualities, and I hope that everyone who has been listening to us can also look forward to joining Semmelweis and picking up on these qualities and taking them with them. As we come to the end of our session, I just wanted to add that this is our contact information. If there's any questions you would like to reach out to us about, or if there's any more questions that we weren't able to answer due to our limited time. But I would also really like to thank Dania and Kent for taking time out of their busy schedules to be here and to help us host this session. Thank you so much, and I hope you all have a lovely day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.